We call them gas giants. The name makes them sound soft. It makes you think of clouds, of haze, of something you could drift through like fog on a winter morning. But that name is one of the most dangerous lies in all of astronomy. Because Jupiter and Saturn are not made of gas. They are made of pressure. And if you ever crossed their cloud tops, you would discover that these planets are not open skies. They are a cage that tightens around you with every mile you fall. There is something deeply unsettling about a world with no surface. On Earth, on Mars, even on the scorched wastelands of Venus, there is rock beneath your feet. A place to stand, a bottom. Gas giants offer no such mercy. Fall into Jupiter and you will search for ground that does not exist. The gas simply continues, deeper, thicker, darker, with nothing to stop your descent and nothing to catch you at the end. What kind of planet has no floor? The kind that was never built for anything to survive inside it. Imagine crossing Jupiter's cloud tops at sunset. For a brief moment, you would see gold and amber bands stretching to every horizon, lit by a sun that looks small and distant, over 450 million miles away. It would be, for exactly that moment, beautiful. But beauty does not last here. Within seconds of your descent, the ammonia ice clouds close above you. Sunlight fades, and within the first 60 miles, the sky you just entered turns completely black. Not the darkness of night, where stars still watch over you. This is the darkness of burial, total, heavy, permanent. No light from the sun will ever reach where you are going. And as the light dies, you would feel it. The atmosphere tightening around you like a fist. The pressure climbing through your chest, your ears, the bones of your skull. Not a sudden impact, a slow, patient squeeze that never lets go and never stops increasing. Now the real Jupiter begins. The temperature climbs past 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds scream around you at over 300 miles per hour, faster than any hurricane ever recorded on Earth. Lightning erupts in the distance, not in quick flashes like a summer storm, but in slow, massive detonations of energy that illuminate cloud walls the size of continents. The Galileo probe, the only machine humanity has ever sent into this abyss, survived just 58 minutes. It reached a depth of only 125 miles before the heat and pressure crushed its transmitters into silence. That was less than 1% of the journey to Jupiter's center. We barely scratched the surface of a world that has no surface. But here is where the real terror begins. As you sink deeper, the atmosphere does something that defies everyday experience. The gas around you does not suddenly become a liquid. There is no ocean surface to splash into, no boundary you can point to and say, here is where the gas ends and the liquid starts. Instead, the hydrogen around you simply grows heavier, denser, thicker. Mile after mile, it presses against you from every direction, gradually shifting from something you could breathe through into something that moves like warm syrup. Scientists call this state a supercritical fluid, a condition where the pressure is so extreme that the difference between gas and liquid simply ceases to exist. You would not drown in the traditional sense. You would be slowly absorbed by an atmosphere that is becoming an ocean around you, with no visible transition and no way to know when the air you were falling through became the abyss that swallowed you. And then, roughly 12,000 miles below the cloud tops, deeper than the entire diameter of Earth, something extraordinary happens. The pressure reaches 2 million times the pressure at sea level on our planet. The temperature soars past 19,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And the hydrogen around you undergoes a transformation so extreme it has never been recreated on Earth outside of a laboratory laser blast lasting a fraction of a second. The atoms are squeezed so violently that their electrons break free and begin to flow. Hydrogen, a colorless, invisible gas on Earth, becomes a shimmering, metallic liquid. It looks like mercury. It conducts electricity like copper wire. And inside Jupiter, this liquid metallic hydrogen forms a layer over 25,000 miles deep, an ocean larger than most planets in the solar system. This is not a metaphor. There is a real, physical ocean of liquid metal churning in perpetual darkness beneath Jupiter's clouds. Imagine an ocean so vast it could swallow Earth hundreds of times over, so hot that its surface, if you could call it that, burns at thousands of degrees, and so pressurized that the atoms themselves have surrendered their structure. No spacecraft has ever reached it. No instrument has ever measured it directly. Everything we know about this place comes from the faint trembling of magnetic fields detected by Juno from orbit, hundreds of miles above. Because this ocean is the engine behind Jupiter's magnetic field, the most powerful planetary magnetic field in the solar system, 20,000 times more powerful than Earth's. The metallic hydrogen churns, spins, and generates electrical currents so enormous they project a magnetic bubble that stretches beyond the orbit of Saturn. A shield born in the deepest darkness of a world no light has touched in 4.5 billion years. Saturn hides the same secret. Smaller, colder, less extreme. But beneath those pale golden rings and soft amber clouds, the same transformation occurs. Hydrogen crushed into metal, pressure dissolving the boundary between gas, liquid, and something else entirely. And here, deep inside Saturn, something even stranger may be happening. The pressure is so intense that helium separates from the hydrogen and falls inward like rain. Droplets of liquid helium sinking through a metallic ocean, releasing heat as they descend. It rains helium inside Saturn, not from clouds, from the fabric of the planet itself, tearing apart under its own weight. A world that looks serene from the outside, but operates on the inside like a machine of pure compression. What lies at the very center of these worlds? Models suggest a core of rock, metal, and ice, perhaps 15 times the mass of Earth, crushed under pressures exceeding 40 million atmospheres and temperatures above 35,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But Juno revealed something unexpected. Jupiter's core is not a neat, solid ball. It is diffuse, blurred, smeared outward into the metallic hydrogen around it, as if the planet's own interior has been dissolving its own heart for billions of years. We named them gas giants because we could only see their surfaces. We saw clouds and called them gentle. We saw colors and called them beautiful. But the truth beneath those clouds is not gentle, and it is not kind. It is an architecture of pressure that begins with wind and ends with metal. A place where the sky becomes the ocean, the ocean becomes a conductor, and every mile deeper is a mile further from anything the human mind was built to understand. The largest planets in our solar system are not hollow. They are full, crushingly, impossibly, terrifyingly full. And they have been hiding the deepest places in the universe in plain sight.